Excellent.
All right, so I know you're a little bit familiar with it. Initially, upon walking through the portal, you're going to find yourself in a dark gray stone room, 30 feet, square feet around, with a pedestal sitting in the middle. On top is an interesting looking trinket.
All right. Yes, I shall take the interesting-looking trinket.
Okay, yeah, so it's unlike anything Homer's ever interacted with before, but immediately upon touching it, he's going to have full understanding in it and its arcane abilities. He's basically going to understand that he can use this to summon a portal back to the town of Mapleham at will. He gets the notion that it's a one-time use, and after he uses it, it's gone.
All right. That sounds good to me.
So right after he takes it, it's kind of like an arcane instinct that he's going to get to understand that. But he's also going to hear a voice kind of reverbing through the room. And it's going to be kind of like an older, feeble, kind of annoyed voice. And he's just going to say, "What are you doing? Just take that and leave right now. I don't want any harm to come to you. This is your only chance."
Right. I suppose I could do that, or I could figure out what I'm doing here.
The voice, almost seeming like maybe it's scripted or not really listening to you, he just says, "If you choose to stay here, don't say I didn't warn you. This place is designed to keep things away." And then with that...
look into a corner of the room and give a thumbs up.
Okay. And with that, you're going to see 4 doors kind of shimmer into existence around you. They all seem like standard wooden doors, 10 feet in size.
All right. Holmr will approach the north door.
All right.
What's behind door number 1?
Is this just kind of a situation where he just kind of walks right in?
Yep. He's just sort of he'll open it slowly. He'll sort of peer in before he like fully opens the door to announce his presence.
Okay, so upon initially just opening it, he would immediately notice the same stone walls, same 4 doors, and the room does appear to be empty.
All right. He will enter the room.
All right. Still doesn't seem like there's anything going on.
All right.
What languages does he speak? I forgot to ask that.
Draconic and Celestial.
Okay, so he would notice every single stone tile, whether it's on the ceiling, the floor, the walls, they all have engravings on it, and they're all Draconic, so he's going to recognize them. But they don't seem to make any sense. They're just kind of like random words that kind of just decorate the walls of this place.
All right. Using Stone Cunning, which is an ability that dwarfs have. I'm reading it now. Could I try to identify the origin of this stonework? Making a history check?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So it is here, and you're considered proficient in the history skill, and add double your proficiency bonus to the check. Okay. So... Alright, that's a 17, and then my proficiency bonus, which is a +2, so +4. So
22?
That is 21, yeah.
Oh, 21. Okay. So he takes a minute, he looks at the closest stone wall, he feels it, inspects it a little bit, does whatever a dwarf would do to identify a wall, and he's immediately disgusted by it, to be honest. These don't seem like natural stone walls. Like normally a dwarf would be able to tell, like, oh, this stone kind of comes from like this area, or this is what it's about. It's all kind of arcane in nature, and it doesn't seem natural to him. He definitely gets the sense that this stone is, there's no other way to put it, I guess, just it's magically created, it's arcane, it's it's not natural, and he doesn't trust it.
Right. It almost seems like the stone has been molded from something into something else. It's not something that was mined and then used in craftsmanship.
Exactly. Correct.
All right. Holmr shall go to the, I guess that is the east. I'm thinking left and right now.
Yeah, on the right door?
Yes.
Okay. So as soon as he's heading over to that door, there'd almost be like a weird clicking, like mechanical in nature around the room. And out of the center is you're going to see kind of like the tiles break apart and lift up, and there's like this weird kind of like structure that begins like shooting arrows out at you. And the first thing we're going to need is a dex save.
Excellent. I'm really good at dexterity. That is a 12, and my save is -1, so that is a 11 to save.
Ooh. That is actually just missing the range you need to be in, and so the arrow's actually going to strike him. It's not going to be like a fatal blow or anything. It's kind of just like a glancing arrow wound, but he's going to take 3 HP, and then we're going to have to go into initiative.
All right.
Let's see if I can fix this box real quick.
My initiative bonus is -1.
So 15?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are going to get the jump on it. It is your turn first.
I think Holmer's just going to use his movement to get out of that room.
You can do that.
Yeah, that's what Holmer's going to do. He's going to continue to the door on the right that he was entering.
Yeah.
That he was going to enter at the beginning.
So he's just going to try to like use 10 feet and flee into this room?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to build the room, and then I got to check my notes to see what was in it. That was east. Yes, east. Oh, okay, so not too bad. Again, 4 doors, pretty standard. Same stone tiles, blah, 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 blah. The only thing that's interesting in this room is that there seems to be some sort of stone tablet laying in the center of the floor.
Holmr shall approach the stone tablet, and he will also use his lay on hands pool to heal himself back up.
Okay.
Which he'll just use 3 at 5 HP that he has to heal himself.
Perfect. Yep.
And he will approach the stone tablet.
Okay. So there are some engravings on it, and they are draconic. He would see that right away.
All right. In essence, what do they read?
They don't make any sense to him, actually. So it almost looks like it's a note, but instead of something where it's like "Dear whoever" and then the bulk of the thing, it just says Zayed, comma, and then the same Zayed name over and over again for about a paragraph and a half, and at the bottom, it's almost like the signature is signed Zayed.
Well, then Zayed, he will move to the south door now. He's almost going to encircle the first room.
Okay.
That's sort of my mindset right now.
Yep, we can do that. So you are electing to leave the tablet there, though, as it lies?
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll put it back down. He'll wedge it in between 2 of these heathen stones, which is what I'm calling them now.
Okay.
As a board.
I like it. That is east. And you said you just walk right in that room? Let me build it.
I'm gonna sort of peer into the room. I'm gonna open it halfway and just see what I can see.
Okay, do you want to make a stealth check?
I'm not being stealthy as much as I'm just trying to peer in, and at the first sight of danger, shut the door again. So would that be more perception?
Yeah. I think so.
Alright, cool.
Oops.
And that is +1, so 19 perception.
Okay, that's not bad. Looking into the room, you would have saw probably not an exact count, like an exact number, but there was definitely what seemed to be like a squad of goblins. Like there's a collection of goblins in there. So the way I kind of picture is like he opens the door and kind of looks, and as soon as he sees them, it's kind of like he just clicks it shut again, like, oh, what did I go into? So you get the notion like maybe they heard it or maybe they looked over, but it's not like they rushed over to the door to attack. But you get the sense that you know they're there and they know something's over here.
Holmr will open the door again and sort of and now try to gather a count of how many goblins are there.
Okay, you want to like actually peek inside and try to get a count?
Yes. Yeah, he's gonna enter the room and just sort of wave to the goblins.
Just kind of saying hello?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, give me 1 second here. Ugh. Oops.
It's a lot of goblins.
Yep. So this time, peeking in the door, he would obviously take the time to get an exact count of 6 goblins. They're kind of in a circle, talking or maybe even arguing about something. Do you speak Goblin at all?
I do not speak goblin. No.
Okay, so yeah, to him it's just chattering. He doesn't really know what they're fighting or arguing about. But obviously this time, because they were aware he was there and he took the time to actually open up and assess. At that point, they would have all turned to look at him. And then obviously they're not going to take too kindly to him existing in what they consider their dungeon. So we're going to go ahead and take initiative.
All right. That is a 2 for my initiative.
Ooh. That is not going to do it. Let's see here. All right. So it looks like they're all going to get initiative on you before you get a chance to react. So give me 1 second here. Are we good? Mm-hmm. Okay, you're standing there. You make me nervous. You make me think like chat's blowing up or something. All right, so we're going to take these from the top. We're going to call this one Goblin 1. He's immediately going to approach you with a scimitar and begin swinging.
All right.
And I guess I can do these rolls here in chat. Let's see if I can figure this out.
Yeah, I think it's just beneath or just above the question mark where you can find all those dice.
Yep. Yeah, I think I got it. Looks like he rolled a 20. Not a nat 20. Mod 20.
Yep. 20 does hit.
All right.
The goblin that I looked up only had armor class 12.
Okay. So that's going to be 5 slashing damage as he begins to slash into you with his scimitar. And you said you just pushed open the door, right?
Yeah, I just sort of pushed it open.
Okay. It's
So
kind
that'll
of
be
weird.
5 damage to Holmr.
Yep.
Alright.
Then we'll get this one here. He's going to run up and do the same, but because he's clipped by that corner, I'm actually going to give you half cover by that.
Okay.
And I don't know your AC off the top of my head, but he got a 19.
16. Yeah, that definitely hits.
Even with the half cover?
Oh, what's the rule for half cover again?
I believe half cover adds a 2. So if you're at 16, that would be 18.
Yeah, so that still hits.
Okay. Let me just double check real quick. I don't want to be wrong. Yeah, it's 2. Okay, that's rough.
Yeah. I feel like
6 plus 2. So that's going to be 4 slashing damage.
Alright.
And
this is what you look like.
the third one is going to be this bow guy down here. He's going to take a shot. And I think there's enough guys in front of you that we're going to maintain that half cover now.
This is what you look like.
Oop,
How does this
lost you for a second there. Okay, so that's going to be a 5. So I think that one's going to miss.
Yeah, that one definitely misses.
Okay, so you got the 2 kind of slashing at you. This one shoots a bolt, but it kind of just hits the dungeon wall and kind of snaps against the wall. No big deal. This one's just going to kind of maintain his position and back, but this one's going to try to take a shot as well. And we're probably going to give you 3 force cover for that one, so that's going to be plus 5 AC.
Alright.
18?
18 just hits. Oh wait, no, that's plus 5. It does not hit.
Okay, yeah, so we'll say the door being partially open or whatever, still it's going to take that arrow and block that for you with that cover. And I think that brings us to you.
Alright. Holmr will sort of back. He'll sort of shut the door, trying to give himself a bit more cover from the sort of onslaught of goblin blade that he's currently under, and he'll say, and I think talking is a free action, he'll just say, listen, I don't want any trouble. If you could just let me pass, that would be great.
Okay, so kind of just as
Try to make a persuasion check.
yeah.
Alright. Come on, high charisma. Alright, that is plus my persuasion. 14 plus my persuasion, which is plus 4. So that is a 18.
Okay, so for his action, he kind of backs up, closing the door. Obviously, the lead one's going to still swing his scimitar and kind of like chop at the door, still trying to get at him. But once he closes the door, he kind of tries to convince them that he's friendly and he doesn't want to fight. Obviously, you can't see them because you're just kind of yelling through the door, so you don't know what they do or how they're reacting. But as of right now, there's no chopping or it doesn't seem like they're trying to bust through, if that makes sense.
Alright, and since it's, since there's no sort of like trying to bust through right now, I'm gonna make my way, I guess I'm not gonna try to recruit any of these goblins, so I'm gonna sort of make my way, back to the main room, the starting room, going around. Wait, no, I can't do that because of the thing. I'm going to make my way right again.
You're gonna try and go through this door here, on the right side.
Yeah.
All right, just a second here. messed that one up. There we go. All right, and that's just, you're just gonna open the door and walk right in?
Open the door and peer in.
Okay.
Yeah. Gonna try and perceive what is going on in that room.
So in this room, you're actually going to find an altar. So it's just kind of like a stone shape in the center of the room.
Is there anything on the altar? Can I see
anything? Where did my notes go? So from this distance, you're not going to be able to make out anything without walking up to it to see it.
Okay. Holmr is going to actually go back and grab that tablet off the ground and walk into the room.
Okay. Yeah, you want to just add that tablet to your inventory?
Yeah.
All right, and then you said you enter the room?
Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming to investigate the altar?
Yeah, he is going to approach the altar, and using stone cunning, could he try and figure out what this altar is supposed to do, what its use is?
Yeah, so that's a history thing, right?
Yeah.
First, can you make a perception check for me?
Yeah, sure. You thinking we're using Avray? I don't have to type it in. That's a 15. Yeah, that's a 15 plus my perception, which is 1. So 16.
Okay, so right when you start looking at this thing, the doors actually shimmer for a second, and then they all vanish. And he almost gets the sense that he's trapped in this room now because it's just stone wall on all 4 sides, like there's no doors. But you also notice that the altar does some interesting shimmering of its own. But then looking at it, it seems like it's an altar to Helm, the god of protection. So it seems like a good altar, interestingly enough.
All right. I didn't figure out what god Holmr worshipped. I think I'm going to figure that out later. But as we go, all I know is that he's an oath sworn. So can he now, sort of knowing the magic that Helm uses, and can he sort of ascertain what this altar's purpose might be, knowing knowing of Helm being an acolyte of a deity?
Yeah, so he's going to be suspicious at first, right? Because of the nature of like how the doors kind of vanished and then like the altar was kind of shimmering. So that would be a little bit off-putting. He would assume that normally Helm would be a god of protection, so it's a deity of like, actually protecting. He gets the sense that this altar is kind of off.
All right. Could he bring the tablet that he brought in and place it on the altar?
He can. Doing so, it doesn't look like it responds in any way.
All right. I think Holmr will now kneel at the altar and begin a prayer to Helm to ask to continue on his quest.
Okay. How long would you say he prays for? About 10 minutes?
as long as it takes for something to happen.
Okay.
But he would probably stop after, like 20 minutes.
Okay, so like a 20-minute max.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't get any response from Helm, that's for sure. However, after a good 10-15 minutes, he would notice one of the tiles. Nothing super threatening at him, but I'll just pick one here and draw it. It changes to lava. Almost like in front of his eyes, it kind of like shifts, and then it's just kind of like a tile that's made out of lava sitting there.
Right.
He gets the sense that no tile is now safe in this room.
Yeah. I don't want to desecrate an altar to a deity I might represent one day. Helm will start to feel along the walls, knowing Draconic, to see if he can identify any sort of, or Holmr will feel along the walls to try to identify any sort of escape from the room.
Which wall?
All of them. He'll sort of circle the room for a second.
Okay. I mean, is it safe to assume then he's going to go to the south wall first?
Sure.
Okay. So immediately upon touching that wall, it feels wood. It doesn't feel stone.
He will feel for a doorknob.
Try to do an investigation check for me.
Alright. That is a 12 investigation plus 0, so 12.
Okay. It'd probably take him a few minutes, and while he does so, a couple more of these tiles are going to turn to lava, but sure enough, he can't see it, but he can feel a doorknob there.
He will push into the next room before any sort of more lava can arise from the tiles. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Let's see. All right. So this room is standard stone room again. Four doors. He walks in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's also going to use the rest of his lay on hands to get him back up to health. Yeah, so he's now at 6 health instead of 4.
Okay. Yep, so that's all fine. Other than the standard room, he doesn't notice anything odd here.
Alright. Okay, I'm going to use Divine Sense. I can detect good and evil. I can detect good and evil, and I know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover.
Within how far?
Within 60 feet that is not behind total cover, so I don't think it would...
Okay.
He wouldn't be able to see anywhere outside of the...
Yeah. Nothing really sends off his senses. The only thing I think worth noting is he definitely gets a sense of evil everywhere around him.
All right, yeah. I think he can ascertain that, and that lasts for 6 seconds, so it's gone now. I'm going to say with Holmr so low on health, he's going to take a short rest. Just now, just to sit for a second and see sort of and sort of make a prayer to the pantheon. No one specific yet, to see if he can call out to any of the gods for guidance in the time while he's short resting.
Okay, so is he just gonna kind of like just sit back against the door and rest for a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll a hit die if you want to. It's pretty uneventful.
Short rest, hit die. It's a D10, so I will roll that D10 now. One, cool.
Well, is that hit die plus con?
That is hit die plus con, so so plus 2. So that's he's actually back up to full. All right, cool. Yeah, cool. So he's going to now. He didn't glean any response, I assume. So he's going to move to the south door now.
All right. It's tricky. I'm still learning roll 20.
Yeah.
But I think I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
Someone was telling me that there's macros for this, and I may be able to write some macros that can help me.
Yeah. That would be very helpful, I think. I'm not great with computer stuff, so...
Yeah, I'll look into it when I get time. Okay, so he heads to the south door, and you said he's just taking a peek in, right?
Yep.
Alright, and the south door was... okay, so he wouldn't notice any creatures or anything dwelling in here. However, there does appear to be a body laying on the ground. Let's see if I got a token for that. Oh, perfect.
He will enter the room and is upon closer inspection, does this body what do they look like? How do they look? How are they harmed? What are they wearing? What do they have on them?
So it is a kobold body. He probably wouldn't be able to ascertain what killed it or what's wrong with it, but it is laying on the ground. It is not moving.
He will approach it and sort of put his hand on it. Is it breathing?
No, it is not breathing.
All right. What does it have on it? Could I make an investigation check to see what it has on it?
No check needed. It seems like it's been stripped of everything but its clothes.
All right. I'm going to send out a prayer to while Holmr isn't necessarily he isn't very well versed in the kobold deities, he's going to send out a prayer to Kurtlemak, the kobold god, and ask him to give him good passage into the realm of infinite gold hoards.
Okay. So doing that, and just kind of like sitting with this guy upon closer inspection, you would notice that it looks like they're probably like scimitar piercings or slash damage. So it seems like maybe he was killed by goblins or something else that was armed with swords. And we'll say we'll give him 150 XP for the role play of going through that. But yeah, other than that, other than confusion as to like initially, I guess you would assume like the kobold's here to protect the dungeon. So was it an adventure that killed this kobold, or did the dungeon turn on him? he doesn't know.
Dang. Well, rest in peace, little kobold guy. Let me add that XP. Yeah, okay. He'll sort of pat the kobold and then move to the door to the left.
So we're going this way?
Yep.
Alright, we can do that. So peeking in this room, is this just kind of like the same situation where he kind of just opens it and looks in?
No, he's gonna open it like all the way.
Okay. So opening this door would also be filled with goblins. I don't want to remove the goblins from the way he remembers that room.
Right.
But let's just see here if I can...
The goblins, they weren't expecting him, so could he get a free action off before presumably they attack?
Yeah, we can do that. They're not the same exact goblins, and the only reason he can tell that is because there's a different number of them, and there's one specifically, this main one who's kind of like leading these two. You get the sense that he's kind of like a higher tier goblin, like he's maybe he's in charge of these guys down here. And yeah, you said you want to try to get that stealth attack in, that first surprise round?
He's actually going to enter the room and sort of like, he's not going to try and surprise them. He's gonna, but he's going to use them not paying attention to be like, hey, listen, I really don't want to fight. I have, I'm sure we can work something out that doesn't involve violence. Honestly, I think it would benefit all of us to walk away from this unscathed, friends. And can I try and persuade you for that?
Yeah, you can roll persuasion.
Alright, cool. That is a 15 persuasion.
And what language is this in?
This is in common.
Okay. So he walks in and he kind of just tries to level with the room and say, hey, we can negotiate here. What's going on? But the goblins seem overly aggressive and violent, and he gets the notion that they're going to attack him, and that they're not buying any negotiations that he's selling today. So
right.
It's initiative.
Initiative time.
1, okay.
Rolling the dice. Natural 20. That's -1, but still a natural 20.
Yeah, it is. Okay, that's going to still give you first action.
All right.
They're looking at a 9 and 2 3s.
All right, cool. He's going to push forward right into the first goblin, the one that's leading them, and he's going to take an attack with his great axe.
All right.
Oof. That is a 8 to hit.
8. That's
Yeah.
going to miss.
All right. So he swings wide, and yeah, that's going to be his turn.
Okay. So yeah, what kind of weapon is that? Is that a mace?
Great axe.
Great axe. Oh, okay. So yeah, he's really giving this thing a good swing. That lead goblin is going to be second in initiative. So he's actually going to make 2 attacks with his scimitar.
All right.
So the first one's only a 7. I assume that's going to miss.
Yep, that misses.
And then 17.
17. That hits. Yeah.
All right. That's going to be 1d6 plus 2. He maxed that. So he gets a real good slash into the stomach area for 8 points of damage.
All right. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. Cool.
All right. So that's the end of his turn. Then we're going to go into the 2 crossbow goblins in the back. They're both just going to take a standard crossbow shot. Ooh, 18. That's a hit.
All right.
3.
Yeah. 3 does not hit. 18 definitely hits.
Oh no, sorry, that was 3 piercing damage.
Oh, 3 piercing damage.
Yeah,
okay.
from the 18.
Cool.
He's still good, right?
Yep, still up with 2 health.
Oof. Okay, and then 5, so that's a miss.
My patty pad.
So he walks in. He tries to do the negotiation, doesn't work. So obviously the combat ensues. One of the goblins gets a good arrow in the shoulder. The other one kind of goes wide, hits the dungeon wall behind him, and then he's kind of just standing there. It's his turn.
All right. Holmr is going to. He's going to use his great axe to attack the main goblin again.
Mm-hmm.
That is a d20. Getting the hang of this. That is a 15 to hit.
Ooh, that is a miss.
Ah, dang it. Okay. This will give them an attack of opportunity, or it'll give him an attack of opportunity, but Holmr is going to try and move back and go through that door.
Okay, so you want to use your move to try to flee to this direction here?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, I believe only the lead goblin would get that attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
And he misses. He swings on you, and you're able to run out of there in time.
All right. Cool.
How far into this room do you want to get? I don't know what your move speed is.
He's just going to sort of run, slam the door behind him, and he has 25 feet of movement, so he's just going to try and use all of that. He's going to
So let's
walk
see.
around the kobold.
You going north or south?
I am going to the right.
Oh, so you're just kind of
I'm trying to put distance.
like one of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so after that we go back to the top, I believe. Or no, the second is goblin. Okay. So it's this guy again. They get 30 feet of movement, which actually is not bad. 10. Use the door. 15, 20. Yeah, he's going to be able to make it to you. He's going to come up here. And he's going to go ahead and swing his scimitar twice again. Hello.
Hello.
So he's hot on the pursuit. Unfortunately, chasing and fighting doesn't seem to be his forte. He rolls a 5 on that first one and misses. And then a 12, which I believe is a miss as well.
Yep.
Excellent. And then these two guys also have the same sort of movement. They don't need to get fully in the door, though. They just kind of pop right in, and then they get their arrow shots at you.
What do you want this?
Just on the table with the rest.
All right.
12, so that's a miss.
Yes.
Ooh, 22.
That definitely hits.
That's a standard 1d6 plus 2. Nope, did I do that wrong? Ooh, 7.
All right, yeah, that hits, and Holmr is down.
Okay. So at that point, you're trying to get away. The lead goblin's kind of like slashing at you, but you're able to kind of keep him at bay as he's running through the room. But once those two archers get in there, and you see the bolts flying by, one of them's going to tag him right in the middle of the back, and he's going to go unconscious and pass out.
All right.
And I think that does it, unfortunately, for Holmr. However,
No.
I think it's a good time to end this particular stream. However, if you want to save that character, because in reality, so what would normally happen is you get to roll death saves.
Yeah.
So assuming the goblins weren't just trying to straight out murder you and keep attacking your dead body, there's a chance you could survive, and then the question remains whether they'd leave you there or what they do. So do you want to go ahead and roll your death saves to see if he stabilizes?
Yeah, sure. Alright,
So it's just a straight D20.
3d20. 16, 13, and 15, I believe those all save.
Yep, okay, so give me a D4.
3.
Okay, so what that means is, assuming that the goblins didn't, straight up put a finish to him, he would wake up in 3 hours with 1 HP.
Alright. Sounds good to Holmr. At least he's not dead.
Yeah, so it's interesting. If you want to come back on another week of the stream, Holmr may have an opportunity to resume his story.
Alright, cool. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, hang on to that sheet. Otherwise, just as a reminder out there for anyone watching, any audience member can submit a request to play, and then we add you to the list. So if you want to make a character on stream with us and take a shot at crawling through this dungeon, you are more than welcome. You can find us at XPCrawl.com, or you can find our Discord, or hit us up in this Twitch.